Rally New Zealand has been celebrated as one of the best events on the WRC. The history that goes back to its roots with the Silver Fern Rallies in 1969. After a 10-year break, the WRC has returned to our shores, Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland. Amongst the drivers gathered for the official welcome, 59 crews from the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. The rally is divided into two sections, the WRC International drivers and the national field. 13 Kiwi crews qualified for the WRC rally in their WRC2 and AP4 cars, and leading the way, Hayden Padden.
Hayden, 10 years in the making. How do you feel now that we're here and we're minutes away from a start?
Yeah, it's come up on us quite quickly actually, so almost too quickly to enjoy it properly, but now it's looking forward to get into it. Obviously, just try and get started with a clean start tonight, but obviously stages tomorrow is what we're all looking forward to. So yeah, can't wait.
The NZRC was still open, with Ben Hunt and his Skoda lying second in the championship.
Very much still in title contention. Do you consider that when you look at getting through tomorrow, which is obviously a very long, challenging day Friday?
Yeah, we just want to, do our best and drive consistently fast and don't do anything stupid. It's a long rally and we want to be there at the end.
Shane Van Gisbergen making his second appearance in the 2022 NZRC and his debut in the WRC. A long-time dream come true.
Obviously, we did the recce here at this Domain stage an hour and a half or so ago when it was dry. A little bit of rain since then. How do you think that'll impact things?
I don't know. I've never done a four-wheel drive donut before, so figuring that out at the first corner.
Bit of fun tonight?
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool to see so many people out, but we'll just get through and see you tomorrow.
Another driver making his first home start in the WRC, Rana Horan, hoping to secure a championship podium finish.
And while it's a fantastic standalone event, there is a championship to think about as well. You probably need some of the guys in front to have some dramas, but given what we've just talked about, that's very possible on a Friday.
Yeah, it is, and it's such a long rally that anything can happen. So yeah, my aim is to try and get third off Ari, but it's a long rally, so there's going to be an attrition, that's for sure.
And Robbie Stokes looking to show on these WRC roads that he has the pace, that the Fiesta can deliver after a pre-rally rebuild.
We've had a bit of a rough year, but we've rebuilt the car and it's better than it ever has been, and I'm feeling better than I ever have been, and whatever happens on the day happens on the day. I'm not going to go and drive outside of my abilities, and the loops are very big on the first day, so I think it's more about being clever than fast and just managing the tyres the right way as well.
Round 5 of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship will take in stage 1 at Auckland Domain, before heading south on Friday for Whaanga Coast, Tiarco South and Tiarco North stages, which will be repeated before returning to the service park. A large crowd had come to see the rally cars at the Domain, Hayden Padden given the honour of running first car on the road ahead of the WRC cars. And Hayden did not back off. On the wet stage, which involved 2 laps around the course with compulsory donuts and a couple of points. BB, this is what we've been waiting for 10 long years.
Yeah, it's been a crying shame that the World Rally Championship has stayed away from our iconic roads for so long. But fantastic for so many people. The team at Rally New Zealand who have worked so tirelessly to bring this event back, to have the false start with COVID in 2020, to finally have it on the shores. I know that was a massive sense of relief for all those involved. To open the event with the spectator-friendly stage that was free for the Auckland public to come and see, Auckland massive supporters of the event, was a really good way to showcase what the cars can do. Just look at the way they make absolutely nothing of those speed bumps that we'd crawl over in our road cars. Down for one more set of donuts. The drivers are just about be dizzy by the time they finish this stage.
Padden set a benchmark time of 1 minute 52.4, a time that would be 10th fastest in the WRC event.
Hayden, it's a rally you've been prepping up for a long time. What was it like to see so many crowds out there at home in New Zealand?
Yeah, it's awesome to see so many people here, and this is just the start. Obviously, tomorrow we're expecting to see a lot of people out on the stages as well. So a shame about the moisture that just came through. It made it really shiny and slippy, and I'm sure that'll dry off. But yeah, good way to start the rally, and can't wait for tomorrow.
Shane van Gisbergen is known for his race-winning celebration donuts, but was not sure about doing them in a Rally 2 car.
And it's a really tricky combination of handbrake, slipping the clutch and the throttle, as well as steering input, to get them to go around the barrel. All the diffs are locked, so they're not designed for tight turns. People will say Shane should be used to this, but let me tell you, a rally car with gravel suspension settings on gravel rally tyres is about as far away from a V8 supercar as you could possibly get. The car's rocking and rolling and ducking and diving and everything that you basically don't want it to do on tarmac.
But disaster for Robbie Stokes. A coil failure left him limping and misfiring through the stage.
And it's been a shocking second half of the season. You see there the effect of the misfire and not having the power to spin the wheels to get the car around the barrel. Very, very frustrating start to the rally.
Matt Summerfield, Dylan Turner, Hayden McKenzie, and Ben Hunts filled the next 5 places, separated by just 1.9 seconds.
And we'll jump on board with Ben for a full lap of the stage. You see the technique he's applying. Listen to the throttle modulation, the handbrake.
Exit this time downhill.
And of course that clear communication from Tony to tell him just how many times he's got to go around the barrel. It was amazing how many people didn't quite get that number right.
Hug the curb, 6 left plus, 30. Keep in, 6 right.
Again, just watch the way you can attack those speed bumps. It barely unsettles the car, and these guys are fair flying through here.
80. Keep in at bump, long 6 left, bump, straight, keep left, bump.
Of course, for Ben, this is a really important rally. He's second in the championship. Stages like this, you've got to be so careful. You can't really gain a whole heap, but man, there's big curbs there. You can absolutely do damage and lose plenty of time or even be out of the rally before it's begun.
Hug the curb, 6 left plus, 30. Keep in, 6 right, hug the rails. Tidy 2 left, keep in, don't go wide, 80. Keep in, bump, long 6 left, bump, keep out at entry, 2 times.
This time round, it's around the other barrel and down to the finish.
1.
Of course, by now the tyres have heated up too, so you've got more grip, which means you need to use more power. So every donut that they're doing requires a bit more adjustment.
50, hug, 6 right, 50, finish.
So as the crews head for some much-needed rest before a massive first full day, it's padding ahead of Van Gisbergen. Phil Campbell with a great time in third, ahead of Ari Pettigrew, then Matt Summerfield, Dylan Turner, Rana Horan and Hayden McKenzie.
Coming up, the rally heads south to the Whangakoast for Friday stages. An early start Friday morning to get the rally down to Raglan and to the famous Whaanga Coast stage. Rain was falling, changing the road conditions. Now all the WRC1 cars would run ahead of Paddon and the Kiwis. This is familiar ground for Paddon, but not these conditions, as the NZRC traditionally runs here later in the year. An impressive run through the stage by Paddon to break the New Zealand stage record and post a time of 20 minutes 51.9 seconds. A huge turnout at the top junction on Whaanga Coast, here to cheer on the Kiwis, including Shane van Gisbergen.
Look at the absolute giveaway that this is one of the iconic spectating spots of New Zealand rallying. Just look at the people, thousands of people, atrocious conditions, but that has not stopped them. They are out in droves.
Shane's time second fastest, but now 23.3 down on Paddon.
3 left.
Disaster for Rana Horan though, as he lost his turbo near the stage end and was forced to withdraw for the day.
You hear that right there. That's the moment that it went from a 280 horsepower Rally 2 contender to a 80 horsepower shopping trolley. Game over.
Mike, disappointing end to the first real stage of the rally.
Yeah, pretty disappointed, blowing turbo. We'll see if we can get it going tonight and rejoin tomorrow.
I guess that's the one thing, right? Tomorrow's a complete new rally, a new last round of the championship.
Yeah, exactly right. So we'll see if we can get it going tonight.
You're obviously able to crawl out of the stage.
No, we about 5 k's from the end. So yeah, we got towed out. So these things happen. Rallying.
And Ben Hunt's challenge blunted with a throttle issue again. The car not able to develop full power, and despite his best efforts, he was a minute down on Paddon and 5th, behind Matt Summerfield and Dylan Turner.
Keep in short 6 left plus, keep in 5 right minus, narrows 4 left plus, hug a long 4 right minus, 50, long 4 left plus, keep in at exit.
Ben wasn't the only one having issues. Anti-lag problems here for Dylan Turner. You can see the way the power just wasn't on tap to pull the car around the corner, and he's lucky that that bank was there to just tweak the car around.
While Phil Campbell withdrew after the stage end with driveline problems.
And with no service for the rest of the day, that's going to be a really tricky prospect. Still another 150 kilometres of stages to go before they can get back to Auckland tonight.
Stage 3, Tiarco South, 31 kilometres. Drivers love this stage. Paddon again fastest through the stage, cementing not just his NZRC lead, but also the lead of WRC2.
And it's a really good point you make, Fudgy. Obviously, this is the tail end of a partial campaign in WRC2 for 2022. We saw him get off to a terrible start, having to withdraw from Estonia with COVID, before he was on the podium in Finland, and now here at Rally New Zealand, where he'll be looking to take maximum points and build into what should be a really strong WRC2 campaign in 2023.
That's the push, no. 30. Flat 6 right minus open, 50.
He's also aware that there's so much to play for here on this day. No service in the middle of the day. So he's got to make sure he's inch perfect right the way through. One little mistake and the championship is back on for Ben Hunt.
Just competing in the WRC has been a big thrill for SVG. To be in the hunt for the NZRC and WRC2 podium beyond his modest expectations.
Shane certainly became a hit with the WRC commentators. He's absolutely loving driving the car. The first thing you see when he finishes a stage is that big smile under the helmet. He just loves driving fast.
150.
And looks like he likes going sideways too.
Hunt doing his best now to drive around his issue. He was able to up the pace on the stage.
Short 6 right, keep in 30.
In a fast-flowing road like this, when you've got a problem like Ben has, carrying that momentum is absolutely key.
Keep in 5 right. Short 7.
Tricky part for Ben here is that this is an intermittent problem. So when he's committing the car to the corner and relying on that throttle to drive it back out, he doesn't know what he's going to have, whether the car's going to lurch forward and drive away or whether it's going to bog down and slide wide. It's a frustrating problem for Ben. This is his opportunity to perform on the world stage at home. Last time he did a WRC event was in a Ford Fiesta in 2010. And that wasn't an R5 Fiesta. We're talking 100 horsepower.
Matt Summerfield, the first of the AP4 cars, which had been approved to run in the WRC International Field, Rally NZ.
It's fantastic to see these AP4 cars be able to compete alongside the R5 cars on the world stage. These cars, of course, locally developed. And for Matt and Nicole, their seasons just kept getting better and better and better. The speed's improved every time we've seen them out. Fantastic to see them peaking at what is the biggest event we've had in New Zealand for 10 years.
Matt dropping to 4th, but by less than a second.
Oh, there's dramas here for Dylan Turner, though. Let's have a look at what's going on. Looks like 2 rear punctures. Something major's happened for Dylan. Let's have a look at the onboard. Still struggling with that anti-lag issue. Oh, he's lucky not to have gone over there. Got away with it relatively lightly.
At the stage end, the damage is clear and Turner would retire at this point. He was not the only driver to puncture. Kingsley Jones manages to puncture both right side tyres. He finished the stage on a rim, but held on to 9th place, luckily carrying 2 spares, so able to continue.
And lucky not to do any other damage. When they get to the lunchtime halt, all they can do is swap out tyres. That's it.
Ari Pettigrew first in the national field as his AP4 Barina is not international spec. Ari now into the top 5.
And the real difference between the cars in the international field and the national field is just some small things with safety items, things like expiry dates on fuel tanks. Some competitors felt it was worth the investment to put a new fuel tank in. Others refocused their budget elsewhere to make the start of Repco Rally New Zealand.
And Josh Marston just 11 seconds down on the stage in the other Barina. The time lost in stage 2 with a puncture meant he was now battling his way back from 17th, now up to 13th.
A frustrating start for Josh. He and Ari have battled so close in the pair of Barinas all season, so that's not the start he would have wanted.
Todd Borden enjoying being back on familiar stages in a modern car.
Opens 180. Long 3 left and long.
Although Todd was the only competitor in the WRC2 field to select hard tyres for the morning loop, unfortunately, as you can see in the wet weather, they weren't the right choice, and it made for a slippery start to the day.
Long 4 right plus. Open.
Hayden McKenzie, the first of 3 Yaris GR AP4s in the rally, with Toyota yet to release an R5 WRC2 version of the car. This is the first time that these Yarises have entered a WRC event.
short 6 left.
And Mackenzie, the best performing in 7th, 15 seconds back from Borden.
Then long 6 right, tightens to 5.
And again, this is a case of a team that's really starting to get their act together right in time for the big dance. They had a couple of teething issues at Hawke's Bay and really are starting to get ahead of the game with this car.
Andy Martin, the only VW WRC2 car in the field, and moving 2 places up to 8th here.
This is Andy's 3rd event in the car, and we're seeing continual improvement. For him, it's a lifelong dream to be part of a World Rally Championship round, and to do it on his doorstep is absolutely a dream come true.
Jack Hawkswood in the 2nd Yaris GR. This is a brand new car built for this event, but a temperature sensor was set too low. The car kept going into limp mode.
And what a grueling first day to debut a car. 160 kilometres of special stages, no service for the team to actually be able to replace anything on the car. It's pretty much an engineer's worst nightmare. And as you can see from the outside, this is quite a different looking beast. This is the GR Yaris road car. This is what the World Rally car is based on as well. Spectacular looking piece of kit.
Duncan McCrosty lost some time on the stage, but he sat 11th.
This is one of 4 cars that the Force Motorsport team's running this weekend. Massive weekend for them. Also pretty special for co-driver Sam Gray, who's competing all of about 10 minutes from home.
Clint Cunningham driving the ex-Horan R5 Skoda, just 4 seconds back in 12th and ahead of Turner and Marston.
And for Clint, after a few years of frustration trying to get the proto car running, he's moving to a proven package. First event in the car, and he's taking a little bit of getting used to, but it's great to see him finally having a clean run.
One more stage before the lunch break, Tiarco North, shorter at 18 kilometres. Hayden Padden continued to stretch out his lead over Van Gisbergen, now over a minute.
And this is a glorious stage. Just check out the beautiful flow of the road straight away. And the surface. Sometimes running further back on these roads when it's been raining is a real disadvantage. But look at the surface of the road. It's hard-packed and beautiful.
Todd Borden had set the car up for wet conditions, but a spin on the stage dropped him to 7th behind Hayden McKenzie.
So Padden taking a solid lead with Van Gisbergen, comfortably bridging that gap. But look at the battle between 3rd, 4th and 5th. Hunt, Summerfield and Pettigrew, all within striking distance. Hayden McKenzie, great to see him having a clean run in 6th.
You know, today's a day about, being smart. So we've got a lead. It's now about managing that this afternoon, but tyres will be a key part of that as well.
How different do you find this car on these roads compared to the AP4 car?
Better handling, better grip, better traction, but you probably do lack a little bit of power. So you notice it, especially when you want to throw the car around, you just don't quite have the grunt to pull you out, but you just get so much more traction. So like our times are a lot quicker than what we would have been here in the AP4 when you look at the history. But of course, when we've been here in the AP4, we've been first on the road as well, whereas now we're obviously on the sweep road, so it's hard to compare exactly.
We'll be in third in NZRC after the morning stages, but I don't think you're happy.
No, definitely not. It's pretty frustrating. It's one time that you want to actually have a good crack and see what you measure up to against the likes of Hayden and that, and the similar cars. And yeah, same issues that we've had at the last rally. It's 40-50% throttle, but all the time, whereas at Hawke's Bay it was hit and miss. So pretty disappointing. I'm still pushing pretty hard, and hopefully it looks good for the spectators, but yeah, just gutting.
Well, Shane, let's talk about the damage first. Happened in that last stage. What went wrong?
I spun out, but I kind of gassed it up to not go off the cliff, basically.
80. Oh, shit. Oh, good job. Fast 5 right, opens in tightens 4.
What do you think of the Whaanga Coast?
Well, I wish it was on Sunday when I had a rhythm, like first stage of the weekend, basically, or first real stage. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough, but very, very cool.
Hayden set a cracking pace out front.
Yeah, I don't even look at that. I'm just stoked with my own pace. Like, it's pretty cool to do these stages. Like, they're pretty famous stages, and yeah, I'm just stoked to be there.
Awesome roads, mate. Just amazing. Spectators out there are just amazing. To be for the first time ever, I've actually get to spectators and I actually zone them out, which I've never been able to do that. But there's a guy doing a brown eye in Tiarco South, and I was like, mate, I didn't even look. I could see it, but mate, focus, and spectators, mate, but they're everywhere. It's fantastic, but the roads are just amazing. You know, like Tiarco North and Tiarco South. Those two stages, they're my favourite. We had a spin in Tiarco North, but it was just, lost a bit of time. But they are the best roads up there. I'm looking forward to those. Whangakoast is tough. It's a challenge, but like it's a 28k stage that feels like it's 48. But it just keeps on going and going and keeps on giving it to you. Go, when's the next corner? Where's the end? So, and we had the heater going the whole time, and it was just sweat pouring off me. But that's hard work, Physical. It's really physical, mate. Even Barge is sweating, just talking.
Must be amazing to be running in WRC2.
Oh, it absolutely is. Right from Ricky, just the ability to jump the queue and be up with all the big guys and all the guys that are sort of a couple of guys starting behind us who are ex-WRC stars in their own right. And so, yeah, really good just talking to them and yeah, really real pleasure. Absolutely.
Bit of drama in stage 3.
Yeah, so about halfway through, just decided it's getting too hot, so I jumped up and moved the vent and then proceeded to drive off the road and hit a big rock. And we punctured the tyre. The tyres are just so good, the sidewall's just so good that I didn't think it had punctured. And then, yeah, with 9k's to go, 11k's to go, I could see in the rear vision mirror all the smoke down the road, so I knew it had gone. And it eventually got worse and worse. And right-handers, we were just like right off the road, and left-handers, I could lean on it. And then eventually, yeah, just the last cater, it rolled the whole tyre off, and we finished on the wheel rim and knackered a wheel rim. So, yep.
Matt, it looks like you got really good value out of those tyres.
Yeah, they're pretty bagged. But that's all right. That's what we're here for, I still think it was the right option to take the soft tyre this morning. So, yeah, it worked pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the tyres, and we did have to change one. Got a bit of a cut in one, but apart from that, all smiles.
Well, this afternoon the weather is looking more settled, maybe heating up, so you know what can happen here, right?
Yeah, still got to take the soft, but yeah, they're definitely going to be well and truly done by the end of the next loop.
Good to be back on these stages.
Yeah, magic roads, you really get into them. Love Tiarco, that stuff's crazy. Yeah, it's real cool.
Whaanga Coast, obviously very, very busy. Lots of, are the notes okay? Made any changes to the notes?
There could have been a bit of improvement, a little bit more detail that we didn't really get in there in a few sections. It was hard to know what was going to be a bit cut up, and there was a few sections that were a lot slipperier than others, so dry when we did recce, it's just the nature of the game.
Andy, bit of a dream come true to be in this WRC field.
Yeah, it is actually. It was nice at the ceremonial start. You sort of get a feel of how big the event is. So yeah, always wanted to do one. So here we are.
Obviously, tyres has been a big talking point this morning. Everyone's taken a different choice, but you went for softs.
Yeah, Hayden said go for softs. He didn't think that we'd toast them, and it was the right call.
So what are you thinking about this afternoon? You really got to go softs again?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we toasted our brakes halfway through Whangakoast, so we just crawled through the end. So we probably didn't wear them as much as we might the Savo, but the last two stages, unbelievable. Yeah, big smile on the face.
Well, Hayden, second rally in this car, but what a rally to be in.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing though. I've never done the roads before, and it's pretty special. The roads are awesome. It's fast. Whaanga Coast, you didn't really get a breather. We unfortunately had the car go into limp mode and had to do a full shutdown, but overall it's just an awesome experience.
Ari, first WRC event, what's it like?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's all the people you've been looking up to over all the years and watching them on TV walking past and driving beside you, so it's pretty awesome on that side of things.
Well, it's also NZRC, and with Rana out with a turbo problem today, that makes that third place in the championship look a little more secure, right?
Yeah, obviously Matt's still in front of us at the moment, so he'll be pushing on pretty hard to try and get that third place, but yeah, we've just got to keep doing what we're doing and get the car to the end.
How are you finding the pace?
Yeah, we've had a few issues this morning, so we've sort of been hindered by that a little bit, but yeah, hopefully this afternoon, Luke, we can be a little bit more up there, so looking forward to it.
You wore out the tyres, which is a good thing.
Yeah. You know, the Dunlop's been working well this morning, especially since we've had a bit of rain, so it helps them last a bit longer, so yeah, looking forward to seeing what we can do this afternoon.
Well, Jack, a few issues this morning?
Yeah, no, we've had a first stage this morning. It started overheating, dropped into a limp mode, and then it sort of came back a bit near the end, but the shifter fell apart and had to do the last 4 or 5 Ks of the stage in third gear, so it's a bit challenging. But yeah, we've kind of just been plagued by this overheating issue all day. Got a flat tyre in that last stage as well near the end, but that wasn't too bad.
Is it playing on your mind a bit?
Yeah, a little bit, because I just, the car's handling so well, and I just want to push on so badly, but you can't when you're limited like that.
Raglan was the centre of the rally for the midday break. Not a service park, but a chance to change tyres. Strict rules control these tyre change zones. For the WRC1 drivers, 4 technicians and the crew can work on the car, but only using the tools and parts carried on board. Near the end of the time, a data technician takes the place of a mechanic and downloads the staged stats to the team HQ, while making any changes required to the onboard computer. But for the WRC2 and NZRC competitors, it's a bit of a difference. Just one mechanic and the crews can work on the car. In Hayden's case, it's crew chief Mike Piddams doing repairs, Hayden changing the suspension, and co-driver John Kennard looking after the tyres.
John, we've just seen the WRC cars, 4 mechanics on each one. The drivers aren't doing much. Totally different for WRC2, right?
Yeah, we're allowed 1 technician with us, and they're the one that's allowed to help us, and that's it. So the driver and co-driver have to do most of the rest of the job.
What you signed up for, was it?
Yeah, I signed up for it a few years ago, and it's always been like this.
There is confusion about whether changes can be made to the computer on the Hawkswoods Yaris, so for now he'll have to soldier on with the sensor issue. Next up, we check out the 2-wheel drives and the open classes on a tricky day 1, WRC Repco Rally New Zealand. Welcome back to the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. 8 entries in the 2-wheel drive competition lined up at Auckland Domain. Jordan Grant put the power of a Suzuki to good use, leading the stage.
Of course, the biggest thing you'll notice straight up compared to the 4-wheel drive cars is that we've now moved into the evening. The second thing that's really hard for Jordan and all these front-wheel drive competitors is they just don't do donuts. Doesn't mean you get away with not doing enough though.
Go again. Now go. Yep. Long 8 left, 50.
Dylan Thompson 2 seconds back, and Charlie Evans, Honda, only 0.1 of a second back in third.
Crest 100, 6 left minus, over bump.
But on the southern stages, it was the experience of Dylan Thompson shining through. He was 54 seconds clear through Whangakoast and Tiarco South, and he still held a 51-second lead by the morning break.
Open 6 minus, triple.
And Dylan came to this event with 1 goal and 1 goal only. He's put a brand new engine in the car, bit more power, a few other little tweaks here and there. He wants to win not only the NZRC two-wheel drive class, but the overall two-wheel drive battle as well.
Jordan Grant lost valuable time in stage 2 and would have to battle to make up over a minute 30 through the morning.
6 left, 30. 5 right, 30. Flat, 6 right, 30. Short, 6 right, minus, front cut. Short, 7.
Anthony Torito and Charlie Evans had a tight battle for second in their Hondas. Torito held second on stage 2, but Evans got back on stage 3 and held on through the morning stages. Bryn Jones was in touch in 4th, but by stage 4 was down to 5th as a hard-charging Jordan Grant passed both him and Torito to claim 3rd.
It's a fantastic battle that was well and truly alive amongst the NZRC two-wheel drive competitors.
Flat right, 220.
And alongside Bryn is now the vastly experienced Jared Hudson at just 18. He'd done 2 rallies with Hayden Paddon this year and flew out the week after this event to go and win the Tour European Rally Series for 2022.
Tim Mackesy out with a clutch failure, the final 2 spots held by Lucas Ramsey and JP van der Meijs. The 2 NZRC rookies separated by just 46 seconds after the morning, with Ramsey 6th and JP in 7th.
Yeah, it's been a really good morning. We're doing our championship objective of staying out front. Unfortunately, a lot of people have had trouble, but we just tried to miss every rock we could and keep in the groove. So we basically got to do it again, and hopefully we stay out the front.
The afternoon stages saw plenty of action in the class, Jordan Grant climbing to 2nd behind Thompson. Dramas on stage 6 with both Bryn Jones and Lucas Ramsey suffering mechanical breakdown and withdrawing.
Five left. 80. Oh, what? Half 6 right, hold. 30. Oh, drive shaft! Oh!
You can just hear the frustration. It's been a really, really good, consistent season from Bryn. It's a gut-wrenching way to finish off the year.
Do you want to carry on or pull over?
Well, we can't because...
Yeah, okay. We'll look for a place to stop, mate.
On stage 7, Jordan Grant's run also came to a halt with a broken axle. So the final finishes, Thompson from Evans and Anthony Torito in 4th, JP van der Meijs.
Okay, we can keep cruising out?
No, we're going to fucking do it.
Short 6 left, 1.
I want to look at it.
Alright.
Should I back up a little bit?
So a brutal opening leg took its toll with just 4 finishes, but Dylan Thompson could not be caught. Charlie Evans heading home and Torito, and JP van der Meijs a solid finish in 4th.
John Silcock was the only entry in the historic challenge and would take the title on this day with a finish that would see him 5th in the battle against the open two-wheel drives.
Well, John, you guys knew that you kind of had this in the bag after the last rally, but must be really great to come home and be champions again.
Oh, awesome, but yeah, it's probably just as well we didn't have too many people chasing today. It's been my hardest day's rallying I've had for years, I think, so yeah, just a bit of bad luck, really.
Peter Farrell provided all the excitement for the class with this spectacular off on stage 2. It managed to keep the car on 4 wheels for the trip down the paddock, earning him the hella moment. Brent Taylor had been the fastest on stage 2 and stage 3, but he lost 11 minutes in stage 4 before exiting the stage in 6th position. Stumpy Holmes making his return to NZRC after many years in his escort, the former production champion second to Taylor.
Stumpy's absolutely run with the fastest Group N drivers in the world back in the day. For him now, it's more about getting out, doing some skids in a beautiful old Mark II Escort.
Daniel Haynes took second on stage 3 and then cemented the lead on stage 4. But Holmes fought back to be second, just 8 seconds back.
6 left, 30.
And Dan came into this event pretty much neck and neck in that open two-wheel drive title fight with Dave Strong. He's really come out and made a statement here with an impressive drive. Just look how slippery that clay is as well.
Craig Sloper in the BMW, just a further 8 seconds back in third. Dave Strong started the day a minute behind after accidentally doing an extra lap of the super stage, so he had an uphill battle in 4th. Chris Alexander finished the morning in 6th. And that's how they would finish the afternoon stages, with Haynes the victor over Holmes by just 27 seconds.
So as Budgie says, the spoils go to Dan Haynes over Stumpy Holmes. Great drive from McRae Sloper to be third, heading off Dave Strong. A troubled day for Brent Taylor, but he still came home just ahead of Chris Alexander.
The largest entry in NZRC at Repco Rally New Zealand was the Category 5 cars. In 5A, the top 4 were just seconds apart through the morning stages. Bryn Smith was the early leader, lost out to Matt Adams on stage 3, and then got back in front on stage 4.
The battle at the front of the Rally Challenge has been getting more and more intense as the season's gone on. Bryn's absolutely putting in the drive of his career today, and it's paying dividends for him.
30, short 4 left, 50, 5 right tighties, 4 minors.
Adams in just his second appearance this season, so not fighting for the series win. Jeff Ward had a strong series advantage, so was happy to let Smith and Adams fight for the lead as he battled Sean Haggerty in the Impreza. Haggerty's car, the oldest in the class, but as he has proven through the season, he still has good pace. Bryn Smith secured the win as Matt Adams lost a minute in the afternoon stage. That allowed Ward to move into second, Haggerty to third, Adams fourth, and Hazel Windleborn fifth in his debut.
Smoking, mate.
So Bryn Smith taking the win ahead of Jeff Ward, Sean Haggerty and Matt Adams. Great battle all day. Hazel Windleborn fifth on debut, just ahead of Dave Ollis, Steve Cox, and our Vanuatu visitor, Pierre Brunet.
In Category 5B, Jonty Brenzel again in giant killing form in his Toyota Starlet. He led from the start. But close behind, NZRC rookie Zeal Jones. Jones has improved every rally, and now with turbocharged power on his front drive Subaru, laying down a real challenge.
And the performances he's putting in here at just 17 showed that he is absolutely one to watch in the future.
It was a tough event for these cars with just 3 finishes. The Toyota Vitz of Jono Shapley, the final finisher.
So it's Jonty Brenzel taking the class win in Rally Challenge two-wheel drive over Zeal Jones, with Jono Shapley in third, while a bruising day at the office has really shaken up the championship standings.
Run it's been building all year, hasn't it, eh?
Yeah, it has. I mean, yeah, stepping it up slowly and slowly, but we knew we had to bring out the A game this weekend. It's a big ask to try and beat Wardy, and he's just got to finish, so he's playing the safe game. But yeah, look, I've got to do it again tomorrow, and then just see what happens. But yeah, no, I can't thank everybody enough. The team's amazing, the car's great, and he's just a special co-driver, so I'm really happy.
Man, challenging conditions today.
Yeah, it's been a long, hard day, but we managed to get through, so pretty happy with that. Took a little bit to learn what these North Island roads are like this morning, and then pretty stoked to hook into it with some good stage times this afternoon, and yeah, learn how we can really push that car on these stages. It's phenomenal fun, so it's great.
They're great stages to run on. Plenty of grip when it's there, right?
Yeah, 100%. Was amazed with how much grip was left there. I thought we'd be torching tyres, and then the rain come in, I thought it was going to be slippery as, but no, it's perfect amount of grip. Hooked in, had some fun. It was a good day. So more the same tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Let's talk about tomorrow, because some more classic stages there.
Yeah, so looking at them on recce, honestly, just tomorrow's just going to be another day of survival. Hopefully we can wrap up our title and just, keep chipping away. Just get that car to the end, so should be good.
Hayden Paddon and Shane Van Gisbergen continued to lead the way in NZRC. Paddon was just getting better as the day went on, and his winning margin would stretch out to 1 minute 37 by day's end.
And although there was talk at the lunchtime break of the weather becoming fine, it's done completely the opposite. It's now absolutely hosing it down, and you can see just how slippery it is. Even the likes of Hayden making small mistakes.
Switch 60, right turn into quick 6. 30 left. 40, flat right line, 30. Slight 6 left one is no. Switch 30, flat out 6 right, nips. Okay, 80.
And even when he's backed off, you can see the absolute commitment. This is a stunning piece of road towards the end of the final stage of the day.
80.
And still, that wet weather not putting off the fans.
Right over finish, 120, long small crest.
But Van Gisbergen was impressive considering his inexperience on these stages, which he had seen for the first time on recce earlier in the week.
With those strict servicing rules, he's had to run all afternoon with no front bumper. Something he refers to as a bit like doing the walk of shame.
Short, 5 left narrow, 3 left hug. 4 right. 4 left plus opens. 50. 5 left hug, 4 right. 30. 5 right plus long hug. Short, 4 left plus. 120, 7 left, cool, 120, 4 right long.
Ben Hunt had settled into a rhythm in the Skoda despite the throttle issue, maintaining third position through the afternoon, before unfortunately sliding off on the final stage.
It's very out of character for Ben. It's very rare to see him put a car off the road. A few years since we've seen it. As you can see when we go on board with him here, he's trying to make the most of the situation he's got. Still not 100% confident the car's going to turn in when he wants it to.
Small jump 30, 6 right plus 150. Keep in 5 left, 80.
Seem to have plenty of grunt over that small jump though.
What is it? Keep in 5 left, 80. Keep in 6 right minus 30. Keep in long 5 left.
As you can see where Ben's ended up, it's not ideal, but man, it could have been a lot worse. Just up the road, there's a big power pole that he managed to avoid.
That elevated Matt Summerfield to third in the top AP4 car on the WRC Rally.
And that's a just reward for this team. There's been so much investment, both financial and emotional, to just get to the start line of this WRC Rally. And a third consecutive podium finish really shows that they belong at the top of New Zealand Rally. So at the end of one of the toughest days in the history of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship, Hayden Paddon takes the win, enough to secure a 6th New Zealand Rally Championship title. Shane Van Gisbergen a very impressive second, ahead of Matt Summerfield, Todd Borden, Kingsley Jones, Hayden McKenzie, Jack Hawkswood and Andy Martin.
Hayden, end of a challenging day for a lot of people, but a round win for you and the championship.
Yeah, it's a great way to wrap it up. Obviously, there's a pressure on to make sure we made no mistakes today. So even though we had a bit of a lead after the first stage, in these conditions, it's so easy to make a mistake. And trying to have a good enough speed to maintain that, but also obviously keep everything under control. So yeah, tough day. Not as easy as what it looks on the outside, but glad to get it done.
How challenging were the conditions in the afternoon?
I think mixing with the very worn tyres, because the tyre wear was still very high, that's what made it so challenging when you're on a mix of good tyres and very worn tyres on a muddy surface. If you're on generally good tyres, it's normally not too bad. So but hey, good practice for tomorrow, because it's only going to get worse from here.
Well, you can put everything to bed tonight because you're 6 times champion and just concentrate on having fun tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. It's one box ticked. There was about 3 or 4 boxes to tick this weekend, so it's nice to get that one done, I guess. But obviously WRC2 is what we're aiming for as well. So yeah, we've got another clean day tomorrow, and John hasn't actually got a championship yet either, you see. So we've got to make sure we get some points for him.
Tomorrow's stages, it looks like it's going to be wet, so equally challenging.
Yeah, like shorter distance, but yeah, equally as challenging. Harder road base, but there will be a lot of mud still. Yeah, who knows? We haven't driven any of these stages in the wet before, so we're discovering them as much as anyone else.
I'd be really pleased to be leading WRC2.
Yes, that's what the aim was. So obviously Cato's going really well, and Shane's been doing an awesome job as well. So no, we're happy to be where we are, but yeah, can't take that for granted. There's a long way to go.
And your first NZRC podium?
Yep, pretty darn awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, well, and you too, Glenn?
My first podium for NZRC as well, so yeah.
Well, what a challenging day.
Yeah, I was making some mistakes earlier and learning the roads, never done those, and you wish those roads were on the last day. Like it was pretty hard to get up to speed, but second run through, or without a bumper, I knocked that off, but second run through, the roads were much nicer and tidied a couple of our notes up, and yeah, it's really good.
Well, also doing well in the WRC too. 2 days to go.
Oh yeah, it's a long way, but we'll just take it one day at a time and keep building and pushing a bit more. I kind of know tomorrow's stages from the escort, but I don't know if that'll help me in this thing. Yeah.
Well, Todd, finally since Otago, you got some consistency. You got to finish in the NZRC.
Yeah, no, it's great. We've had shared very bad luck with the car and just little hiccups, but it's nice. The boys did a good job the last sort of month, mate, and they've rebuilt the whole car and they've really made a great car for us.
It's a new day for round 6 of the championship as competitors take on the North Auckland Stages at Repco Rally New Zealand. Until then, we'll see you next time.